students, welcome back at your own channel Maths Vela, where we are here to discuss the academic parts of mathematics. So let's start with the academic part, but before starting the academic part, let me discuss a thought with you, which is let's be realistic and let's do the impossible. What does it mean? Right now, at the present situation of COVID-19 and the virus situation, we are trying our best. We are thinking that yes, everything will be the good very soon. Everything will be on the line. Everything will be on the track. So most of the people still they are on the back seat and they are waiting for the situation so that the situation can be good and fine, favorable for them. But I don't think so. The situation will be under control so soon. So what is our work? I think that we should accept the COVID-19 as it is. With the present situation, we should go ahead. We should plan with the present situation according to the present situation. We should not wait that the situation will be okay and when situation will be okay that time I will start. It means we are being late for our future. Right? So this is what one more time I want to say, that be realistic. I mean, let it accept this all condition. The reality is what COVID-19 is there. So it's okay. COVID-19 is there. We are going to go ahead with the COVID-19 and it will not affect in any of our program. Be the confident one. Plan your activities, plan your proper plannings and the activities for your future so that you can go ahead whether it is COVID-19 or no. Okay, so that's why it is what we need to be realistic and we need to think on doing some impossible things. Within the span of the short time, let's do somewhat great things what we were doing before this also and will be doing in future also. So let's go one more time and the thought. So let's hear one more time the thought. That is what? Be realistic and let's do some impossible things. Let's start with the academic parts of grade level mathematics. Right now, we are dealing with the chapter number 6, that is linear inequalities. We have completed exercise number 6.1's first 20 sums. We will be continuing with that in today's video. But before continuing, let's have a recap. In exercise number 6.1, the first 20 sums are as simple as that we have done in the last year, last 2 years in grade 10 also and in grade 9 also. Just I want to revise the basic rules, inequality and equation. In equation there is equal to sign. In inequality it means not equal. It can be less than, it can be greater than. Okay, then how to solve the linear inequality? It is same as how we were solving the linear equations. Right? The first 4 rules, as we have discussed in the last video also, what are the first 4 rules? If you will add or subtract, okay, to solve the linear inequality, you can subtract or you can add the same number in both the sides of the linear inequality, so it will not make any change in the result. Okay, but what about multiplication or division? Okay, now here the case is somewhat different. If you are multiplying with the positive number or you are dividing with the positive number, then it won't make any changes in the result of the linear inequality. But if you will multiply or divide by the minus number, then the inequality sign will reverse. Okay, or it will be what? Interchanging. It means if x is suppose minus 2x is less than 5, then if you will divide both the sides by minus 2, so what will happen? If minus 2x is less than, so it will become x is greater than. Okay, this is what the difference in solving the linear inequalities and the linear equation. This is what the major difference that you have to keep it in mind. After that, we have presented the solution on the number line also. It depends that how it is the answer is going to come. The answer may start from minus infinity to less than 2. It means all the numbers which are less than 2 but not equal to 2. Okay. Then there are different kinds of intervals are also there. If we are using this bracket, then it is what? Open interval, right? This is called as open interval, right? What does it mean? This we are using with the strict inequality, okay, either less than or greater than, okay. But if we are using the closed interval, so it means we are using this for less than or greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. It means if we are using 2 and say 10, so it means 2 and 10 both are not the part of this. If we are using it in this, so it means 2 is also the part and 10 is also the part. Then what? There is one more interval, that is closed open. So in this case 2 is the part but 10 is not the part. If we are using this one, open close, then 2 is not the part but 10 is the part. Okay, so these are what somewhat basics, and then beyond that we have gone through the solutions on number line also. The first 20 sums were what easy, depending on the calculation part, numerical sums were there. Right now, which we are going to start today is somewhat word problems. So let's go ahead with the exercise number 6.1, sum number 21.
Ravi obtained 70 and 75 marks in first two unit tests. Find the minimum marks he should get in the third test to have an average of at least 60 marks.
Now let's formulate the sum. According to sum, the sum is in front of you. What is given in here? That a person Ravi, he gets example. The person Ravi, he gets some marks in first test. So we will write down marks in first test. Okay, that is equal to 70. Then marks in second test is equal to 75. Okay, and the average to be given 60. What to do? We have to find third subject's mark, right? Or third test's mark. Question mark.
Ravi obtained 70 and 75 marks in first two unit tests. Find the minimum marks he should get in the third test.
Find out, and the average should be what? Less than. The average should be what?
Ravi obtained 70 and 75 marks in first two unit tests. Find the minimum marks he should get in the third test to have an average of at least 60 marks.
Average, okay, is equal to addition of 3 marks, that is 70 plus 75 plus x, divided by how much? It should be 3. Now this is what the average. Now according to the sum, the average should be greater than 60, right or no? It means whatever this number will be, this number will be greater than or equal to 60. If it is coming 60, that is also fine, or if it is going beyond 60, that is what well and good. Okay, so let's solve it. 3 is divided, so 3 will multiply, so it will become 180 is less than 70 plus 70, 140, and then it is 145 plus x. Now after this you can subtract this 180, that is 180 minus 145 is less than or equal to x. So what is 180 minus 145? It is 35. Okay, so in the third test, Ravi should get at least 35 marks. If he gets 35 marks, then the average will be equal to 60. If he gets beyond 35, then it will go beyond 60 average. Okay, therefore he should get at least 35  35 marks. Now let's go on next sum.
To receive grade A in a course, one must obtain an average of 90 marks or more in 5 examinations. If Sunita's marks in first 4 examinations are 87, 92, 94 and 95, find minimum marks that Sunita must obtain in 5th examination to get grade A in the course.
Now sum number 22. It is on the same track. In place of the Ravi, now we'll have Sunita with us. In place of 3 tests, we'll have the 5 examinations with us. In place of average 60, we'll be having now average 90. So let's formulate the sum. Given that marks in 4 exams or 4 examinations, okay, that are 87, 92, 94 and 95. Okay. And the average should be 90. So here we have to find out what marks. Find marks in 5th subject. Right or no? Now same thing, we know that average in 5 subjects. Average is equal to what? 87, 92, 94 and 95 plus we are assuming that in 5th subject the person will get X marks divided by 5. Now according to sum, the average should be what? 90 or above. Okay. So that's why what it should be, same thing in this way. What we have done, average less than or equal to. Now addition of this all. Okay. So 90, 90, 180, again 90, that is 270. If you will add this also 90, because this 3 we can bring it here. So 9 4s are 360. Right? Then 360 plus 2, 362 plus 4. 366 plus 1 more 2, that is 368 plus x divided by what? 5. Now 5 9s are, it will be 450 minus 368 less than or equal to x. So if you will subtract this, 68 and 2 is what? 70, then 30 and 50, 80, 82. So the mark should be what? 82 is less than or equal to x. It means in the 5th subject, the minimum mark should be 82. Or to maintain the average of 90, the person Sunita should get at least 82 marks. Hopefully you have understood some the symbol.
Find all pairs of consecutive odd positive integers, both of which are smaller than 10, such that their sum is more than 11.
We are going to find 2 odd positive numbers such that both the numbers should be less than 10, but their addition should be what? Greater than 11. Okay, so let first number is equal to x. Now since consecutive odd number, okay, so next consecutive odd number, therefore next consecutive odd number, it should be what? X plus 2. Okay. Now according to sum, according to question, x should be strictly less than 10, right? But x plus 2, addition of these two should be greater than 11. Right or no? Is it? Yes. Now x plus x2, 2x plus 2 should be greater than 11. Now 2x should be greater than 11 minus 2. So x should be greater than 9 by 2. So x should be greater than 4.5. Now since they asked odd positive consecutive integer, so greater than x or greater than 4.5. So the possible number, therefore possible number x can be what? 5. Okay. If it is 5, the other number is 2 more greater than that, that is 7. Or if this is 7, then again 2 more than 9. Okay, but if we will consider this as 9, the other number will become 11. So we cannot consider this number as 9. And since this number should be what? Greater than 5. Okay, sorry, less than 10. So we can start with this because we got this number only. So x is equal to x 5 or 9. Therefore, what is the another number? Therefore, another number, that is x plus 2, 7 or x will be 5 or 7. And the another number will be x plus 2, that is 5 plus 2, 7 or 7 plus 2. That is what? 9. So according to the sum, both the numbers are what? Less than 9, less than 10, sorry. And then what is their addition? Their addition should be greater than 11. So 5 plus 7, 12, greater than 11. 7 plus 9 is 16, greater than 11. So this is what the sum. Now let's go for the next sum. That is sum number 24. Which is again of same type.
Find all pairs of consecutive even positive integers, both of which are larger than 5, such that their sum is less than 23.
Now let's formulate the sum. Sum number 24. It says that same like this, but what are the changes? The changes are, in place of finding consecutive odd numbers, here we are going to find out consecutive even numbers. Okay, so let the first number is equal to what? X, right? Therefore, another number, what it will be again? Again consecutive even, so it will be x plus 2. But what is according to question? According to question, both the number, okay, both the number should be greater than 5. The number should be greater than 5, but their addition, that is x plus 2, should be less than 23. Now what can we do? Here again same thing, 2x plus 2 is less than 23. So this plus 2 will go that side, it will become what? Minus 2. So it will become 21. So x is less than 21 by 2. Therefore what? X is less than 10.5. Okay. Now they are asking about the even numbers. So therefore x is equal to, it can be 10, okay, but since the number is not greater than 5, so we can consider 10, and the number is not less than 10.5. So the number will be 10, 8 or 6. Can it be 4? No, because if you will get 4, the x will become, x will against our condition. Okay, that's why we will be taking x is equal to 10 or 8 or 6. Okay, after that what can be x plus 2? Therefore the other number x plus 2 can be, it can be 10 plus 2, that is what? 12. 8 plus 2, that is what? 10, or 6 plus 2, that is what? 8. So if you will go according to the condition, 10 plus 12 is 22, which is less than 23. 8 plus 10, 18, less than 23, and 6 plus 8, 14, less than 23. So these are what the required number. Now let's go quickly on the sum number. Next, that is sum number 25.
The longest side of a triangle is 3 times the shortest side, and the third side is 2 cm shorter than the longest side. If the perimeter of the triangle is at least 61 cm, find the minimum length of the shortest side.
So let's formulate the sum now. What is the sum? The sum says that one triangle, let me draw. Okay, say A, B and C, a triangle. Okay, it says that the longest side is 3 times of the shortest side. So we can see that AB is the shorter one, the shortest one, so it can be x. Now this is the longest one, so it can be 3 times of x, and the remaining side is what? It is 3x minus 2, that is 2 less than the longest side. Is that okay? And what should be the perimeter? The perimeter should be at least 61 61. Okay, that is the perimeter should be or can be 61 or greater than 61. Okay, so what we can say is perimeter should be greater than or equal to 61 because it is what at least 61. So it can go beyond that also, right? Okay, now let's see how we can. So given that shortest side is equal to x centimeter, therefore what it will be? Longest side is equal to what? 3 times of this one, that is 3x, and the remaining third side, therefore third side is equal to 2 less than the longest side, so 3x minus 2 centimeter, right, and then the perimeter should be at least 61 centimeter. It means 61 is also fine, but beyond 61 also it can go. Okay, therefore what it will be? We know that the perimeter of triangle. Okay, therefore perimeter of triangle according to some. Okay, that is according to question. Perimeter of triangle should be or greater than or equal to the sum of 3 sides. That is what is given 61. Okay, so what we can do is therefore what are the sides? X plus 3x plus 3x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 61. Okay, 3x is 6x plus 1 7x greater than or equal to, this will go here, that is 61 plus 2 is 63. Therefore what it is? X is greater than 7 will divide 63, that is greater than or equal to 9. So the sides can be 9 or more than this. Okay, so if x is what? Greater than or equal to 9, so if x is what? 9, so the x plus 3x will be what? 27 and 3x minus 2 will become 25 centimeter. Okay, writing unit is also important. So this is what the sum. It can go beyond this also, but minimum should be what? 9. And then maximum can be any other sides. Now the next sum, that is sum number 26. So let's have a look at sum number 26.
A man wants to cut 3 lengths from a single piece of board of length 91 centimeter. The second length is to be 3 centimeter longer than the shortest and the third length is to be twice as long as the shortest. What are the possible lengths of the shortest board if the third piece is to be at least 5 centimeter longer than the second one?
So let's formulate the sum first. Again, the same principle. In place of triangle, there is what? One single length. Okay. So what we can do is, given the total length is what? At least 91 centimeter. After that, what he says? The first length or the shortest length, will say let the shortest length is equal to x centimeter. Here let the shortest length is what? X centimeter. Therefore the second length, which is said that 3 centimeter more than this one, that is x plus 3 centimeter, right? And what is the next one, which is what? The last length, that is what? The third length should be double of this one, that is 2x centimeter. Is that okay? Right. Now according to sum, therefore according to sum, if we will add this all three, that is x plus 3 plus 2x, this should be less than or equal to 91. Now x plus x 2x plus 2x is what? 4x, less than or equal to this 3 will go here. 91 minus 3 is what? 88, right? 91 minus 3 is what? 88. So this implies that x is less than or equal to 23. One more thing is asked in the sum. The thing is what? What should be the possible length of the shorter side, means x. If the third length is need to be at least 5 centimeter more than this one. So according to question, what it is, 2x is greater than or equal to the second length, that is x plus 3, and then the 5 more. So 2x is greater than x plus 8. This x will come here subtracted from 2x. So x is greater than or equal to 8. So the possible length of shorter board is equal to what? At least 8 centimeter. Okay, it should be at least 8 or greater than 8. It should be. Okay, so at least 8 centimeter. This is what the end of sum number 26 as well as the exercise number 6.1. We have completed it successfully and happily without any problem, even though it was somewhat lengthy because 26 sums were there. But we have done it in a 3 different parts. That is, in first video, sum number 1 to 12. In second video, sum number 30 to 20. And this is what the third video of exercise number 6.1. That is question number 21 to 26. So let's have a quick recap of it. Equations and inequality can be differed by the equal to sign and the less than or greater than sign. Okay, equations can be solved in a simple way, how we were solving in the grade 9th and 10th, but in the linear equality, what we have to do, we will be getting the different answer. Different answer means what? In a group. Okay, so there can be possible answers, not exact answer. In equation, we will be getting what? The exact answers of the variable. In inequality, the possible answers will be there. Okay, then how to solve that linear equation? By using that 4 rules. If we can add, subtract, divide or multiply the same number in both the side, number or result will not change. But in inequality, what will happen? If you will add or subtract same number, it will not make any difference. But if you will subtract if you will multiply or divide the negative number in both the side, then the sign will get reversed. Okay, then the linear inequalities we can solve it on the number line or with the help of the number line. You can show the result on number line in case of the number asked. That is, your x is real number or your x is whole number, natural number or integer. Then the first 12 sums of exercise number 6.1 was simple basics numerical sums where we have solved by using the first 4 laws of linear inequalities. After that, the next few sums, that is sum number 13 to 20, we have used those sums or we have showed those answers on number line by using the intervals, maybe open interval, closed interval, open closed interval or close open interval. Okay, after that we have solved the word problems. What we did, we gone through the word problems, then properly we formulated the sums. We wrote the statement for those sums, then we formulate or we form the linear inequalities, and then we have solved it as we were solving in 6.1 exercise, that is right from sum number 1 to sum number 20. So this is what all about exercise number 6.1. Hopefully you have understood it, but of course a bit practice is needed. Okay, so keep practicing at home, and very soon we will meet again at your own channel Maths Mela with the next video or the exercise number 6.2 very soon. Till that time, be happy, be at home, keep smiling and keep upgrading yourself. Thank you.